If you're looking for day trading education and high-level trade analysis and dissection, you've come to the right place. My name is Pat Mitchell. I have been a professional day trader for the past 11 years, and I am here to bring you exactly that high-level professional day trading education, all here for free on YouTube and on X. And tonight we are going to be going over a couple of trades. We're going to be talking about more specifically what it means to allow charts or trades to set up, not a setup, but allowing them to set up. And you'll understand more once we get into it. Let's rock and roll, folks. I hope you all had a wonderful day. Give me 1 sec as I fire up these charts. 1 sec, 1 sec. Bum, bum. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I just as a quick little heads up, if you tried connecting to the live stream and it booted you, I ended up losing Starlink across the entire property. All of my Starlink internets went dead for a minute. Not sure why, but is what it is. So let's get into it here, guys. So for a little bit of context and so that you can follow along, for those of you that are just joining us, these blue levels that you see on the left and right hand charts, the left hand chart is a daily chart. Each candle represents 1 full day of action. And then the black chart is a 1 minute chart. Each candle represents 1 minute of action. And each one of these blue levels that I have here are levels that I strike. They're technical levels, technical support and resistance levels that I strike prior to the market open. In fact, 30 minutes prior to the market open at a minimum. Sometimes they are done in the evening prior. That's why you see the consistency level that you do on this channel, is because we follow a definitive plan. I then, at 9 a.m. sharp, I develop trade plans that we do not deviate from. Those are our trade plans. Once the market goes live, we execute said trade plans. And that's exactly what we did. Q's was the first trade to trigger here, and I'm going to zoom in for you. So the trade plan was this level was a long, this level was a short, depending on first directional pick. So if we popped, we would have shorted that level down into here. But because we dipped at the open, we went long coming into that level, and it worked out absolutely beautifully. So like I said, market opens, it comes down into that level, execute the trade represented by these blue triangles. And then the red triangles are my sells coming up into this area, selling pretty heavy, coming into it first into morning highs, and then the rest into that level. And then basically held on for a couple more exits, small exits in here and here. You're going to see a really weird fat finger. I was really distracted. I was processing a deep sky photography project that I was working on last night, a Galaxy, and it was giving me some issues, and I was literally working on it since 4 a.m. So I'm kind of bouncing in between. Finally got it processed. So definitely my fault, and pretty distracted. And that's why you will see this red short. It's not a short. It is selling calls. Kind of fumbled around with the order manager. So walked away without any type of damage, but it definitely did fuck up the P&L on this Q's trade. I was up a fair bit more, but that is what it is. I can't really complain with locking in 8,495. And then let me clean this chart up. We do have a secondary Q's trade. So there was a short. For every long, there is then a short, and it worked out just fine. A lot of people will look at this and they will see that, well, it's a failed trade. It didn't work, but it did. If you manage it correctly, there is always opportunity. And for me, my targets are never super far down targets. Like, this isn't a target, a main target of mine. It's a greedy target. I'd like to get that, but I drive it back down into a level of support. So basically coming down into here, that is a target, and I'm basically just trading it back and forth, executing, paying myself, executing, paying myself, and so on. And then a fat finger, an additional ad right at the end there, just a real quick ad. And I'll show you, because we were right here And anytime we slice through a level, pull back, and it comes back up to retest, I'll execute that trade. And that's what you see quite a few entries here. I'm executing, paying myself, executing, paying myself, and then simply stopping out on the rest. And that was it. So really nice trade on that as well. And that locked in an additional $2,051 on that. So now I want to talk about setup. You know, one of the things, and one of the reasons why I want to talk about that here tonight is one of the major problems I had that I just could not seem to wrap my head around at the beginning of my trading career was how did traders know to execute that trade? How did they know it was going to happen? For whatever reason, my brain could not process understanding that they knew that was basically going to happen, or at least the setup of it was going to happen. Not necessarily that it was going to work, but that trade was coming, right? So first of all, you really need a strategy based off of technicals. And one of the major issues that a lot of traders have when they're first starting out is they are simply all over the fucking place. They are technical traders, news traders, scan-based momentum traders. They're all over the place. I don't use any of the only thing I drill it down. And that's what I learned a long time ago. In order to capture and allow these charts to set up for you properly, you need to focus, right? It makes sense. If you're not focused, there is no way you're going to be able to capture any type of a trade, because you're constantly, if you're not focused and you're looking at news, looking at scanners, looking at this, looking at that, you're always focused on something else instead of just the chart and in front of you and being patient. I can't stress the importance of that, the importance of allowing yourself to be patient and let these trades come to the palm of your hand. Have a plan, do your technical analysis, right? Your support and resistance, and then develop a trade plan surrounding those levels. It's not just levels. A lot of people will look at this and they'll say, oh, there's just support and resistance levels. That's about this much of it. Okay, sure, they are support and resistance levels, but what is the plan surrounding it? And what happens if it goes further? What happens if it doesn't quite make it to the level? There's a lot of variables in trading. And if you don't cover all your bases, you're fucked, right? So allowing this shit to set up and allowing yourself to be patient allows these charts to set up. It all needs to work together and come together. And again, I cannot stress the importance of not being all over the place with a million different things, news and scanners and the Fed announcement and this and that and numbers coming out. Who gives a shit? It doesn't matter. I do not care about any of that. The only thing I care about is simple technical analysis 101, the simplest of simple shit. And that's how I make my money each and every day. And I have for a very long time. When people want to complicate it, run away from those people. They don't know what the hell they're doing. Straight up facts. And that's how it is. So one last thing I wanted to say. Happy birthday, Ethan. I hope you have a good day, bud. And if you want to learn how to come do this properly and professionally, come to tricktrades.com. If not, if you want to continue to chase your tail, by all means, that's your choice. Life's about choices. That's why I have 1,500 plus free videos on my YouTube channel alone. But then doing it on your own, you're going to have to sift through that. And this is just free information. Like, this isn't where it is drilled down and concise and a direct blueprint with not just an entry strategy, but an entry strategy, exit strategy, management strategy, sizing strategy, risk strategy. You need all of that combined in order to make a go of this. And if you're just dipping your toes and you're treating it like a hobby, good luck. You will fail. You might as well just go to the casino and throw it all on black or red, man, because you will have better odds. Okay, guys, I hope you all have a wonderful evening, and we will see you tomorrow. Adios.